Getting set for the start of the Heluva Good at the Glen here. NASCAR Sprint Cup cars racing on a world-class road course on a Monday afternoon. So sunny Monday here. It is a 90-lap race, 220.5 miles. The pit road speed 35 miles an hour. The pace car will run 40. In terms of Sunoco fuel, Andy, the pit window, this is critical.
Yeah, that's what you can go, what we predict the green flag pit range is, or fuel range is. But we'll see cars coming in on that first pit stop a lot sooner than that because, like I said, they're going to be working backwards. Don't be surprised to see cars on pit road at lap 20 or maybe even before.
Let's check in with Dave Burns.
And Jimmie Johnson getting ready to lead from the pole. His crew chief, Chad Knaus, had these words for the whole team moments ago.
Today where a lot of teams will be mistakes is kind of take themselves out of this race. We're going to do everything right, get all of our luck on. Don't speed on pit road. Make sure he's clear, doing all that kind of stuff. That'll keep us here and get us in the solid top 5 here at the end of this day.
The last time Chad told me they were looking for a solid top 5 was 2 weeks ago at Indy. Guys, how'd they finish that day at Indianapolis?
Yeah, I think that was a pretty good day for them.
That's a top 5. That's
yeah, definitely a solid top 5.
And DJ, we talk about these drivers needing to get in a rhythm. How long is it going to take?
Yeah, it's going to take a little bit of time. That's one thing. They haven't been in a car since Saturday, so they have to get back into that mode of doing something that they don't do but twice a year. So we'll see a few mistakes here early on.
And by the way, could we see a repeat of the contact we saw at Sonoma between Jimmie Johnson and Kurt Busch? They start side by side in row 1, and that contact cost Kurt Busch what he believes would have been a top 3 or 4 finish and maybe even a shot at victory lane. As our Brad Doherty said yesterday, we expect a wall-to-wall brawl at Watkins Glen. They'll be pushing and shoving. Folks, glad to have you with us here on a Monday afternoon. The world's greatest drivers in stock cars as we turn them loose at Watkins Glen.
Didn't take him long to get 3 wide back there, did it?
Man, look at Kurt Busch get the big run on the outside.
Yeah, he's able to clear Jimmie Johnson up as they start up the S's.
Man, that was a power move right there. He took a lesson from his brother. He made that move in the nationwide race, Kyle did, and made a pass, and looks like they learned something from that.
That might let some guys look as we have double file restarts later on as to which side they're going to choose.
Ambrose looking to the inside of Hamlin, will fall back in line. Looking out the front of Marcus Ambrose's car. Ambrose very good up here in turn 9.
Yeah, he's not going to surprise too many with that move in that chicane anymore, is he, after Saturday?
They've seen that movie.
See David Stremme there in the 5th spot, hanging on. That's where he started. Good run for those guys. He was pretty excited about his chances here.
So he's taking a look on Ambrose here, getting into the left-hander.
Have a hard time outbreaking him into that corner. As you can see now, it may cost him a spot.
Yeah, Ryan Newman behind him watching Stremme make that move. And Newman trying to get a position away. 1 lap complete, and Kurt Busch is the leader. Kyle Busch there at the top of your screen trying to make a move.
Yeah, he makes that fake to the inside. Now going to the outside of Ryan Newman. He'll follow Newman and go by Stremme in turn 1.
You see Stremme get really wide there, trying to give some room as Denny Hamlin tries to put some pressure on Jimmie Johnson, take away that 2nd spot.
Johnson able to hold him off through the S's. Now here is the backstretch where he used to, I guess drafting does come into play a little bit here.
Yeah, you can definitely use the draft. You're up about 180 miles an hour before you start getting on the brakes and start downshifting, so you can definitely use that to your advantage.
You can see Ambrose, he just makes a peek every time they get to a corner, but I don't think you're going to see a lot of aggressive moves this early in the race. I think the thing is that they just want to stay in line here, stay caught up. They're actually letting Kurt Busch get away just a little bit. He's got about a 3/4 of a second lead so far. Kurt Hamlin looking inside of Johnson.
It's like he's got an opportunity to make the pass here. He's going to be in the wrong spot as they get to turn 11, though. If he carries some momentum, could get 3 wide here down the front straightaway if we're not careful.
Maybe Marcus Ambrose takes advantage of this side-by-side action. Ambrose, now who do you follow in turn 1? Obviously, you want to stay on the inside.
Yeah, but Denny Hamlin's made this work pretty well, and we saw Kurt Busch pass Jimmie Johnson on that high side. See if he's able to get off of there. Johnson's not ready to give that spot up here. This is pretty dicey going down into turn 2, staying side by side. Somebody's going to have to give here.
And Jimmie Johnson is the one that gives. Pretty smart early in the race.
Denny Hamlin won at Pocono a week ago, last Monday to be exact, by being aggressive. And now he's aggressive in the early laps of Watkins Glen. Here's, speaking of aggressive, here's Marcus Ambrose, and he falls back in behind Jimmie Johnson.
Yeah, you see Jimmie Johnson making that defensive move to the right. He did that early on before Marcus could actually get inside, and that'll protect that move from making it work, getting into that corner.
Yeah, and what Jimmie was protecting from, he was able to, he relinquished and gave that spot up to Denny Hamlin, but he didn't want to give more than that because he had to get out of the throttle up through this, as that gave Ambrose an opportunity to get a real run on him. So that's what you'll see these guys make that blocking effort.
You see Kyle Busch in the 18 right behind the guy that passed him in the final laps on Saturday. And surprising, let's see if Kyle Busch is going to pay him back a little bit here. Let's follow along and see if, because Kyle Busch wasn't real happy about that surprise move that Ambrose pulled off on Saturday.
But I think he understood it, and I'm sure after he's thought about it a couple of days, hey, I might want to try that myself, and he understood a little more of it. He's got, looks like he has a really fast race car here today. That's a good thing for him as he's trying to work his way back in to that top 12 in the points. See Jimmie Johnson struggling just a little bit. What are they saying, Dave?
Right now, Jimmie reporting that the car is very loose. Crew Chief Knaus reminding him that the car does tighten up. It's always like this, but Jimmie had to give up those first 2 spots because of a loose race car.
Yeah, we expected the track to be a little bit green when we started this race, and so the crew chiefs and the drivers are going to try to have to be patient here and let that transition happen before they make their decision on how to make that first adjustment.
Thus far, everyone trying to find their rhythm, and they have found it. We have not had an incident, and the inner loop was a big concern. And now it is Kurt Busch pulling away. Denny Hamlin in second spot, Johnson, and Marcus Ambrose is running fourth. Vince.
And as you mentioned, Marcos Ambrose trying to hold off Kyle Busch, who was challenging from behind, and the spotter telling Marcos Ambrose, use the whole track, don't be defensive this early in the race course, or in the race. Run your race on the race course. So Kyle Busch is pressuring, but Marcos Ambrose being urged to just run his race.
Juan Pablo Montoya, there's the 42 car. He's been trying to work on the inside of Ryan Newman to get the spot, and he will get it. That is 6th position. Newman back to 7th spot. We are 5 laps in of 90, which will comprise the NASCAR Sprint Cup race at Watkins Glen. Team Penske went to a couple of different road courses and tested. They wondered how it would help their road racing. Well, I think we have an answer, at least early on, because it is Kurt Busch out front, and he is pulling away as the leader. Busch, Hamlin, Johnson, Ambrose, and Kyle Busch. That's a top 5.